We love getting your questions, so we want you to keep them coming via Facebook, Twitter, and on our webpage. Who knows, we might just answer your question here in the studio audience next. Today on an all-new Daily Helpline, give a very warm welcome to Marie Osmond.
I had it all, and I crashed into the wall.
Tell us why you think that you're dealing with postpartum. What experiences are you having?
I just stayed in a room and like bombarded myself in tears.
You can pick your friends, you can't pick your siblings.
I think you're running for something and numbing out and medicating with all these unhealthy patterns, and we need to put them in the right direction.
Yeah, I think you hit this one.
You got it, girl. I'm telling you, you're going to be great. That's right.
Pretty good audience. Hello and welcome to the Daily Helpline. I'm Miles Adcox.
And I'm Spirit, and we are looking forward to tackling tough questions from today's guests and hope that you'll learn a little bit from our answers. Now today we have a very special guest joining us. Please help me give a very warm welcome to singer, actress, author, and entertainer extraordinaire, Miss Marie Osmond. Beautiful lady.
So good to see you.
Thank you for your force, Marie.
Okay, so the dress is a little tight for that step there.
But it's sexy though.
Yeah,
it is
it looks
working.
really good.
It is
Hey,
working.
how are you?
Great. How are you?
Great to see you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
and
good
your
to be here.
life has been an incredible ride. I mean, I don't know what it's like to have had to live it all out in public, but you have done some truly amazing things.
Well, I don't think I chose to necessarily live it in public.
Yeah.
But as you go through life, and I was 3 years old when I started performing, working in this business, and just all the different things that I've been through and experiences, and going from child star to teenager to, hit records and traveling throughout the world, and even writing New York Times best-selling books. One thing I've learned is we're all the same. It doesn't matter what our job is. What matters is how we get through life, and I think we need each other, and I think that sometimes we can isolate ourselves, and it's better sometimes, well, it's good to keep certain things private. I'm a very private person, but certain things I share because I feel that I have learned great lessons from them, and I've learned so much from the people that I've worked with
That's
over
one
the
of
years.
the things I love about you, because you're clearly a trailblazer in the entertainment community. I mean, you've done
you're
everything, and you've
so
been doing it a long time. But the thing about that I like
5
about
decades, isn't that nuts? This year is kind of that
5.
incredible,
and you've lived it out loud, and you've used your platform
You
in a
telling
lot
me
of
I'm
good
loud?
ways. No, not at all.
He tells me all the time. It's
I think
okay.
you're vulnerable and transparent with
Oh,
what
you're
you've
very
struggled with,
sweet.
and I think you've used your platform in a positive way. So with that, what's the best advice you think you've ever heard?
that I have ever heard?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, if I were just going from my life, just in general, I had incredible parents, really wonderful, wonderful parents. And the greatest thing I think I learned from my mother, and it was hard because when you're in the entertainment business especially, you're told to be a pleaser, you do whatever you need to do to make everybody happy and make it all work. And she said the most important thing is to follow your intuition. And I think nowadays, especially as I have 8 children, I have 4 girls and 4 boys. And one of the things I tell my daughters especially is the world is screaming at us that we need this and we have to do this, and we won't be happy unless we do these and this and this, and we have our little checklists. I had it all, and I crashed into the wall. So it's a lie. And the greatest thing I learned is that when you take that moment to be still and you really listen to what your gut says. Of course, if I listen to my gut, I order pizza. But if you really listen to that real you, the real self, and be true to it, your life can hit a course that you had no idea.
I think you're going to be able to help us be true to a lot of our guests and help a lot of people today. So we're excited to have you
Well,
here.
I'm not an expert. I'm just a person who's lived a lot of life. So.
But you are an expert in your own life, and that's what it's all
very
about.
sweet.
One of the more public struggles Marie has shared with the world is about her battle with postpartum depression. Our first guest is experiencing some of the same struggles and sent us this email. Hi, Miles and Spirit. My name is Jessica. I am the mother of 2 very young children and think I may be suffering from postpartum depression. I'm married but don't talk to my husband. I can't sleep. I spend the day weeping while I hold my babies. I do my best to care for them, but just cry and cry. Please help me learn to cope. Let's welcome Jessica.
Thank you so much for being with us, honey. We're gonna sit
Hi,
right
Jessica. Oh no, Jessica, I hug heart to heart. There you go.
Hugging's good.
Hugging's always good. How are you?
I'm good.
You lie. That's the patent answer, isn't it? When you're going
That's
through.
the politically correct answer
It
that
is
we give,
in,
right?
in our society. I'm good. I'm fine.
Good and fine.
But on an honest level, I think I'm going through the same thing I did with my daughter, which is postpartum depression. I need help, bad, and I'm reaching out to you guys for that.
So open up to us. Tell us why you think that you're dealing with postpartum. What experiences are you having?
Well, I have a 17-month-old daughter.
Okay.
She's my everything. I just had a baby 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
On
Okay.
Saturday will be 3 weeks.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I'm going through the same things that I did with her. Like he was saying, you know, in the email that I sent, I cried constantly for no reason. And I don't even really know why I'm crying. You know, it's just, I think it's just everything that's built up inside is just coming out.
So the thing that I learned that nobody was talking about is a lot of doctors will just say, okay, take an antidepressant.
That's how it was with my daughter.
And, you know, there are so many reasons emotionally. You can have postpartum depression for 2 years.
Yeah.
And they don't really explain all that. So if you had it before and then you have another child, your hormones.
My 2 years ain't even up yet.
No, seriously,
For
when you
it, so
have your
it-
baby, you're right before your hormones are up here and you're feeling fantastic, except you feel, you know, like you want to explode. Then all of a sudden everything goes to zero.
Right.
Quick.
And then our hormones are supposed to build back up, but if you're stressed, and there's like 17 stressors that I put in my book that will determine that can give you, you know, postpartum. I had 16 of the 17.
Wow.
And it's like no family support, you know, new job, being alone, raising, just all those different things that you're talking about. You're going to be okay, you know that.
I know I'll overcome it. I just need help getting to that end point.
Do you really know that?
Yeah.
You feel that?
Yeah.
In your heart? Because I know that's one of the things that, and I don't want to skip over this or bypass how dark it can get.
It's
And
terrible.
that's what I'm scared of. That's why I reached out to you guys. I don't want to get to the point.
How dark does it get?
I haven't been to the darkest point, but I've like looked up on Google and stuff like that of other people that have gone through postpartum, and it scares me. I don't want to get to the point that I've read what some people have gone through.
Where have you gotten? So it just helps us get a
To where I've locked myself in a room, and like I haven't not like pawned my kids off, not my 3-week-old, but my daughter. I left her with the babysitter, which I am very close with. She's my best friend. I trust her 129 billion% with my life, my kid's life. And she watched my daughter for 2 days, and I just stayed in a room and like bombarded myself in tears.
Well, you know, Jessica,
And I
that's
didn't know what to do.
not necessarily a bad thing. So I don't want you to feel guilty about that, because sometimes asking for help is the hardest thing that we could ever do.
No,
Yeah.
The fact that she's here says that you're right on track.
Yeah, I want to get help because I don't want, like I said, I don't want it to get to that point to where I feel like there's no coming out of that dark hole. You
Right.
know, and I don't want to be the suicidal person. I don't want
Right.
to be the mom that wants to hurt her kids because they don't stop crying because I'm depressed. It's not my kid's fault. You know, this is something that a lot of women go through.
Right.
And some of them, you know, like I was with my daughter, I was scared to reach out for that help.
Where'd you get that message
What mess?
to hold stuff in?
Oh, nobody. I was scared to like express myself. I was scared to tell, you know, my mom how I felt about things, because I had to grow up really fast. My dad walked out when I was 3 years old, and I didn't have that guy figure, that father figure there, and I think that's another reason why I don't open up to my husband, because like I don't know how to, and like I feel like if I did, because like, you know, every now and then I'll try to talk to him just about.
He'll leave.
Yeah, just about, you know, whatever. And I feel like he's not on that same mental connection level with me when it comes to my emotions and how I feel. So I just
So
blow
Jessica,
it
I'm
out.
sitting here, and like I said, I'm not an expert or anything, but you communicate very well.
Yeah, I have good communication skills. I just don't
You
know
do.
how to express them as far as
Because
like,
you're doing great here, and I see you as a very vibrant you're very self-sufficient. You're
I'm
logical.
lively, I'm bubbly. I want to feel all that again, you know.
But
and
let me tell you, in the book that I wrote, I was that too. I'm fine. I'm great. I'm an Osmond. I smile.
yeah,
And what happens is there's a little girl inside of you, Jessica, who hasn't ever been listened to.
yeah, exactly.
And you've always told her she can't feel, she can't hurt, she can't cry, she can't upset her mom. Her mom's been upset enough.
yeah,
You know, you're the fixer, you're the pleaser. And all of a sudden, that little girl inside of you is going, you know what, I really hate you. You don't listen to me.
yep,
And she's the one that's shutting you down.
yeah.
And I know that sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, it's
Oh, I
bona fide
understand
truth.
that.
She
It's
gets
bona
it.
fide
Yeah.
truth. And finally, the little 3-year-old who was always told, you can't feel now. You have 270 pages of script to memorize in 2.5 days. You know, you have this to do, you have this to do. You can't be tired. You can't have a cold. You need to, all those things, they built up, and all of a sudden, the you inside that never got heard is telling you, you better listen to me because I'll shut you down.
Yeah, slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Well, let's stop where we are because there is a lot still to get into, and I want to make sure that we hit all the points. And I also want to talk to you a little bit about what postpartum depression is, what it isn't, and then kind of help some of our viewers at home understand it as well, okay? So everybody just sit tight. There's more when we come back, so stay tuned. Coming up.
What have you seen when you sit there and you sob in that room?
That hurts because she feels what I feel, and I don't want her to feel that.
We love getting your questions, so we want you to keep them coming via Facebook, Twitter, and on our webpage. Who knows, we might just answer your question here in the studio audience next.